Fans of the Fans of the Dragon Age franchise were very worried when BioWare started to reveal details about the next entry in the franchise, Dragon Age the Veilguard. From the game director talking about how inherently queer it would be, to the art style, to the dialogue. Virtually everything that people saw just screamed red flag. And as it turns out, after over a week of release, people were right to be very worried about this game. Dragon Age the Veilguard's clumsy, preachy political messaging does more harm than good. And that's a good way to describe this game. The clips that we've seen, the dialogue we've seen, the insane companion storylines that you can't avoid. It's not like you're choosing to play this game. It's all about accepting pronouns and non-binary acceptance quests. All of this cringe shit. People were right to be very, very worried. And despite the fact that places like Kotaku and every other gaming outlet spread the word that, hey, this is huge for them. Look at it rocket up the Steam charts. It's a record for BioWare. While failing to mention the fact that BioWare didn't release games on Steam for nearly a decade because of EA Origin, which ended up being kind of a catastrophe in and of itself. But the players spoke their minds. We heard the players speak out, disagreed wholeheartedly with the critics. Not exactly a surprise there, yet everyone in the mainstream media was trying to tell us that this is just a huge success. A game with this type of user base, with this type of fan base, it should have been absolutely dominating in its opening weekend, and it didn't. It hit a peak player count of just under 90,000 on Steam. Granted, it's released on consoles and other places too, but significantly less than what BioWare would have hoped for this type of game with the money that they invested in it. And as we speak right now, it's struggling to maintain a position within the top 20. Sitting right now at 21. We'll see what happens to the player count over the weekend, but certainly not the launch that they'd hoped for. And now, we're getting a little bit more information about the disappointing sales of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Dragon Age the Veilguard rumored to have sold less than Star Wars Outlaws. Now, what some insiders are reporting, because BioWare's been silent. BioWare's been deathly quiet about this. Seems a little bit strange, doesn't it? With all these people claiming it's such a massive success, most games like this, most big launches like this, you get a reveal from the developers, from the company, either that first weekend or certainly within the first week. They tell you, hey, we're proud to say we've surpassed 2 million players, 2 million copies sold, 4 million copies sold, whatever it may be. Even something like Anthem, just for the record, sold 2 million copies in its launch week. That game was deemed a colossal, catastrophic failure. And that had 2 million copies sold in the first week. Certainly died off a lot after that. But according to these reports, Dragon Age the Veilguard may have only sold somewhere in the realm of 500,000 copies. That would certainly explain a lot, wouldn't it? Less than 500,000 copies sold for this type of franchise, for the type of player base that this needed to be deemed a success, with hundreds of $millions thrown into this game. We know that Star Wars Outlaws was considered a massive disappointment for Ubisoft, and all the estimates were after this point in time it had sold around 1 million copies. Certainly if Dragon Age the Veilguard is less than that, especially if it's at 500,000 with mass refunds happening across the board, this would be a colossal failure for them, just as so many people predicted. And what makes it even more interesting is that, woke lunatics in the gaming industry, people like Jason Schreier, who wanted this game to succeed just so people would be angry about it, he's deleted this tweet. Go woke, top the charts. Back when people were bragging about Dragon Age the Veilguard's launch, which really wasn't all that impressive to begin with, right? There's no way you genuinely like this turd. I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you chuds get dunked on. He deleted this post. I wonder why. Maybe it's because it's not topping the charts. Maybe because it's not selling well. Maybe because, just like so many people predicted from the beginning, from the trailer, listening to the game director preach about all the inclusivity and DEI and woke bullshit they would shove into this game, that you would be forced into this queer storyline in the game. Maybe that didn't actually resound with people. Maybe people didn't want to play it. Maybe people have seen that this is a joke and they want nothing to do with it. Maybe that's why you deleted this tweet, Jason Schreier, because you realize this game is selling like absolute shit. If only some people had warned you from the very beginning. Who would have possibly thought? The clips that are out there. If I was thinking about buying this game and I just happen upon some of these clips, and certainly maybe some of the people in the normie audience aren't going to come across it, but a lot of people did see the clips of the dialogue, especially with this character, Tosh. It's as cringe as it can possibly get. The very idea that it's not even really an RPG because you can't say negative things, you can't do mean things, you can't take mean actions. You don't really have a choice. It's not much of an RPG, is it? But if all these reports are true, you get what you fucking deserve, BioWare. This is not the BioWare of 15 years ago. This is a completely different developer with completely different agendas, and now that is crystal clear for everyone to see. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.